Welcome to Cooking with Mrs. Salisbury. Today we'll be making my recipe for Old Fashioned Oatmeal Cookies. Originally they came from England and Scotland, and it was kind of a cross between a cracker and a cookie, and people would carry them into battle for a quick energy snack. We're not going into battle today, but we can enjoy a delicious old-fashioned oatmeal cookie. So let's get started. Oatmeal cookies are a two-bowl process. What's nice about oatmeal cookies is that dough doesn't have to be refrigerated. Chocolate chip dough does have to be refrigerated. Oatmeal cookies have the oatmeal in them and they just won't flatten out, whereas chocolate chip cookie dough, if it's not refrigerated, will just flatten out really fast in the oven on that cookie sheet. So it's best to refrigerate it. So oatmeal cookies, that batter, this dough does not need to be refrigerated. So we have 2 sticks of butter, which is 1 cup of salted butter. We need 1 cup of brown sugar. Again, I'm going to pack the brown sugar, so press it against the container, pack it, and it makes like a little sand castle, which I always have found amusing. And then we need to have 3/4 cup of white sugar, 3/4, half, and a fourth. 3/4, half and a fourth, 3/4, which would be 12 tablespoons of white sugar. So we have our brown sugar, our white sugar. Then when we mix this together, it's called creaming the ingredients. We want to evenly distribute the fat with the sugars so that way the cookies will bake evenly. Some mixers you have to stop and start, so start in the middle of the bowl and stop and start if you need to. We'll mix this together. See, it's thoroughly mixed. We have a little bit of butter up here, so I'm going to move it down. It's packed in the mixer in the beaters here, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'll show you why in a second. Next we need 2 eggs. I have 2 lovely organic eggs. So we'll always have a garbage bowl, so we have a container to put those shells in. Here's 1, here's 2. We'll set those over here. So I'm going to add my 2 organic eggs. I'm going to add my 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. I always want pure vanilla. Vanilla is from the vanilla bean, and the vanilla bean grows on an orchid plant. So next we have I always check, we have 1 cup of butter, we have 1 cup of brown sugar, we have 3/4 cup of white sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 eggs. We're going to mix this together. They're so fast to make. That's done. They're fast. So I'm going to set my mixer right here. Next, I'm going to have my dry ingredients. So I'm going to set the mixer and the bowl over here a second. And I'm going to bring my dry ingredients. So I need to have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 cup in this bowl right now. The recipes are written so you spoon the flour in, take a table knife, turn it upside down, level it off so you get the correct amount. There's 2, now we need a half. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Knife upside down, level it across, 2.5 cups. Let's set this over here. So we have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. That's from the bark of the cinnamon tree. I need 1 teaspoon of soda, and I need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I need 3 cups of oatmeal. I use the coarse cut oatmeal, and I have a 1/2 cup of craisins and a 1/2 cup of raisins, and I just dusted them with about a tablespoon of flour so they wouldn't stick together. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. I'm going to take my wire whisk out. Well, maybe I can mix it with it. I'll see if it catches in here too much. Let's see. May have to go to a spoon. Well, it's pretty good. It'll catch in there a little bit, not bad. You could use a spoon also. So I need to mix the dry ingredients with the raisins and the craisins. Remember, dusting the raisins and craisins with the flour will keep them from sticking together. So we have our oats and our dry ingredients here, as well as the craisins and the raisins. You can put in a ½ cup of walnuts if you like. It's up to you. Walnuts are very good if you'd like to put them in, but you don't have to. This time I won't. Okay, so I've mixed up all the dry ingredients. A couple craisins, raisins, they came right out. Okay, so next I have my creamed ingredients, and I'm going to put my dry ingredients in with the creamed ingredients, and I'm going to mix this with a rubber scraper, and I'm going to also unplug my mixer because I see I have a little bit of dough on this, so I'm going to take that out with my rubber scraper. Almost. Don't want to lose that batter. There we go. That's perfect. Very nice. Okay. So I'll continue mixing this. Let's use the spatula. You could use a spoon too, whatever you'd like. We'll put this in the middle here of the counter, not on the edge. We don't want flour going around. This is going to be a stiffer dough than chocolate chip dough, a little stiffer dough. We have the oats in here. They'll make it a little bit stiffer, but it's also nice that it doesn't have to be refrigerated. I have the oven preheating, by the way. I have the oven preheating at 350 degrees, and this recipe will make 28 cookies, 28 nice sized cookies. So just a second. Oh, this is mixing up nicely. They're so fast to make. Remember, you can put cookie dough in the freezer, but it's always nice to have them baked and in a freezer bag, in a Ziploc bag. Then you can take them out, pop them in the oven, or in the microwave just a little bit to have a warm cookie with your tea when friends and family come over. All right, hello, look at this. This is really nice. It's almost ready. Just a little bit more. You see a little bit of white there, and I want that all evenly distributed there. So not quite ready yet. That's quite good. That's quite good. Look at that. That's beautiful. Now you're not seeing the white when I turn it over. Oh, some escapees. Get back in here. There we go. Now, I'm going to take our knife and I'm going to cut the dough in half just so visually I can see that where about half is. Okay, I can leave the knife there even. And then I'm going to get a large spoon and I'm going to put, divide this so I can get 14 out of each side. Here's our sheet pan. I need to make the cookies the same size so they'll bake evenly. So, and we don't want to get too close to the edge. We need about 2 inches in between and around the cookie so they'll be nice and round. These are nice sized cookies. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, that's nice. Here's 3. The raisins and craisins are really nice in them. Like I said, sometimes I put walnuts in. It's up to you. It's a really nice addition. Let's see. All right. This sheet pan of mine is the largest one that will fit into a home oven. You can get it at a restaurant supply. So it's really nice because you can fit more cookies on it when you're baking. You can bake pizza in it, sheet cake, whatever you like, but it's nice because it's the largest one. I baked certain breads on it. So it's really nice to have that larger sheet pan. But you have to look at what size sheet pan or cookie sheet you have at home. Let me see how many I can get on here, just a second. This dough is just a tiny bit sticky. That's perfectly fine because we're going to have some beautiful oatmeal cookies. You'll see I'm going to just take my hand and kind of flatten the top a tiny bit. I like to do that with some of my drop cookies because that way they'll turn out a really nice shape. Well, looks like I can fit 2 more on this sheet pan because it's nice and big, so that'll be lovely. So I will be able to get 14 out of this other dough when we come back. Looks good. Okay, let me wipe my hands off here a second. Cookie dough, I really don't want to use my dish towel. I'd rather use just a little bit of paper towel. Okay, we'll be right back after these have baked. Welcome back. I just took our Old Fashioned Oatmeal Cookies out of the oven. They were baking for 15 minutes. I let them set up on the cookie sheet just a bit. They're still hot. I smell that wonderful fragrance of cinnamon. So good. We'll see you next time cooking with Mrs. Salisbury.